Hey everybody, it's Bloodworth here. I'm joined by Obsidian today. It's Leonard and Mikey, right?
Yep. That's us.
And you're one of the game's directors.
Yep, co-game director with Tim Kane.
Nice. And then what all does that involve for you?
I'm mostly on the narrative and art side. Me and Tim kind of created the game, the base idea for the game together, for the world setting together, and then he mainly concentrates on system things, and I concentrate on the dialogue and the world building and the art side.
Nice. And Mikey?
I'm the director of communications for Obsidian, so
Nice.
I just get to talk about the game that they're making, which is pretty awesome.
Get to like tweets all day.
Like tweets, watch streams.
Track down people who are releasing videos too early.
Yeah.
Like us. I heard we're not supposed to be streaming yet.
Right.
Can you clear that for
I
us,
mean,
Mikey?
Yes.
But yeah, this is we didn't actually say that. This is the Outer Worlds that we're about to play now, which is your latest. Which we were talking before the stream that you guys really had a quick turnaround from announcement till now, relatively.
Yeah, relatively. Yeah, I mean the announcement went pretty great. We were really, happily surprised with the outpouring of interest in the game. A lot of people really seemed to dig it as soon as they saw that. But yeah, it was kind of a blur for us because obviously we were in heavy development at that point.
Yeah, and when did you guys actually start working on this?
I came over to I almost said came over to Blizzard. I left Blizzard and came over to Obsidian in April of 2016. So for a couple months it was me and Tim sitting in a room just coming up with the ideas for the game. And then I think 2 or 3 months in we started pre-production. So we've been in, I don't even know how long we've been in full production, but the start date was April of 2016.
Nice. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, for a game like this, it could be a little tight, but it was it was a good experience.
Cool. So yeah, we're going to start up with a fresh game, create a character.
Yep.
Just kind of get through some of the basics and show everyone how the game works.
Sounds good.
So Mikey, you're going to drive. You can grab the controller there and swap over to the game. And then I'm still working on. Look, Ian's here.
Hey!
Oh, tell them about Supernova. We don't want to do Supernova for sure, but
Oh yeah,
This
you
is
can
craziness.
read all the fun of Supernova right there.
crippled limb can only be healed with bed rest. I
Your
didn't
com-
catch that.
Yeah, your
Wow.
companions can die permanently. You can only fast travel to your ship. You can only sleep in your ship. You can only manually save inside your ship. It's pretty challenging.
Wow.
Old school.
The main thing that I had caught was just the third point there, that you have to eat and drink and sleep on a regular
Yeah,
basis.
yeah. That's
Playing on Xbox One.
But yeah,
X.
Xbox One X.
Xbonix.
But yeah, I think hard is probably where a lot of people will end up. I mean, on normal it's still pretty challenging when you start the game, but
yeah.
I ended up moving it to hard after.
Yeah, I think for more
about halfway through.
more experienced players or players who have more experience with FPSs are probably going to want to start on hard, but I think everybody else is going to want to start on normal and then kick it up.
So what do you want to do today?
What do you want to do?
Okay.
Let's die a lot.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Let's watch Mikey try to make it through here.
What did he pick?
He picked hard.
Ah, nice.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with
I
guaranteed.
love that you guys didn't shy away from
With
dates.
only a minor term of service, you will
Yeah,
become
we
the
went back and
master
forth
of
on
your
that.
own
We knew when it
destiny.
was taking place, but we weren't sure how much or how little of that to get into because it's an alternate history. It's a very different world from ours. But yeah, this whole little section at the beginning was really tough for us to nail down how to kind of introduce you to the player how to introduce the player to the world as quickly as possible, to kind of give you the feel for what the world is, what you've been promised before you got on the colony ship that you're about to be rescued from. Spoiler alert.
They have haven't even seen the beginning yet. They're already asking if there's DLC.
Let us ship this game first.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
All right, so the conceit here is that Phineas is going through the roster of the colony ship that you were left on to pick the best colonist to help him on his quest. So should we ask for suggestions from the chat, see what kind of character they want to see us play, or do you guys have an idea of what you want to play?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
What do you want, chat?
Yeah. Well, why don't you explain kind of first, like what these overarching categories kind of. I mean, you've got the descriptions here, but.
So we can go through them slowly so people can read them. Obviously, strength is going to affect things like how much you can carry, and if you're using melee weapons, dexterity, is with all great RPGs, is how fast you're going to be able to reload. How your melee weapon attack speed, things like that.
Sneak and lock picking are in there, so that's
and what's really nice. Yeah, what's really nice is there's a lot of overlap between these, so you can build your character out any way you want without being like, oh, I really didn't want to invest in that. I want to go over this way. So you get more than one choice in those examples. Intelligence. If you lower your intelligence, you you lose your chance to critical, but you also get your dumb dialogue choices.
And that is, I think, hit left because I think that is interesting that like you can actually take points away right off the bat.
I'm seeing a lot of max charm, min intelligence, and a high strength in chat. That's what we're.
All right. Well, it sounds like if they want to do melee, that's the way to go. What did high charm? They want to max out your charm. Yeah, if you max out
strength and charm.
That is actually the build I went with, is maxing out charm.
Yeah, if you max out your charm, you can get away with a lot more. People like you more. They kind of like let you slide on your infractions a little bit. And then of course perception. Oh
yeah, handguns and long guns. Yeah,
but it's nice because you get if you pump it up, you get a bonus to your extra headshots and weak spots, which is with your TTD. You can really hone in on those things and do some serious damage by what our version of called shots is.
And then temperament is health and stuff, right?
Yeah, temperament. I just played a build recently where I had a low temperament, and it took me a long time to get used to the fact that I wasn't doing automatic health regen.
Oh, whoa.
That's quite an adjustment because it's like, especially on normal, you got your health regen is pretty good. You don't really have to worry about it between battles, but if you have low temperament, you definitely have to keep track of that.
Wow.
So where should we spend our last point?
Or we could. Chat saying intelligence is still too high.
Does it go?
No, that's
does it go any lower. That's as low as it goes, chat. That's as low as it goes. I like that. That's such a dramatic impact. Like changing a setting like that is like pretty big.
Yeah.
Cool. But so also your
we should.
Go ahead.
Just dodge. We're gonna go melee.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, because we already got the charm. Let's go back down to charm. Because charm has, your lie, intimidate, and persuade. Perception, I think, is only, is it intimidate or lie?
Seems like that hacking gets a charm boost, too.
Yeah. Oh, no, I meant intelligence.
Yeah. Science, determination.
Yeah. Right on.
Words are hard. Yes, dumb dialogue options.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
This game, dude, I'm stoked. Okay.
And you got 2 points at the start here.
Yeah, so one of the reasons we wanted to do this was to, even though there's a lot of numbers here, we didn't want people to feel overwhelmed. We wanted it to be fairly straightforward, to go like, okay, what kind of character am I building? How can I focus on that? But also, throughout the game is each of these categories, until you put 50 points in any one of these, you put points in all of them.
Yeah.
And then so you keep putting points in, like, for instance, if you had your handguns all the way up to 50, or this heavy weapons will get up to 50 earlier, obviously. So once your heavy weapons gets up to 50, you can put points directly into heavy weapons, or you can keep putting points into your range skill overall. This means you don't have to specialize until later in the game, until you got a feel for what kind of character you want to really hone in on.
That's smart. But these numbers are reflective of the choices we just made.
Right.
Exactly,
So where they're
yeah.
at now is based on the.
So like we're
attributes.
horrible at medical and engineering,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very bad at medical.
and we're not very determined.
Inspiration is good though. That's really good on that.
Yeah, if we're gonna, and you've already unlocked it. Like if you go down to inspiration, the important things here are your unlocks, especially your early unlocks. Like you get your companion abilities from inspiration. So if you don't have at least 20 inspiration, you can't use your specific or your special companion abilities. So each of these each of your skills has these unlocks to kind of give you more from getting them to a certain level. Your companions gain more armor rating here. Your companion skill will give you more bonuses to your skills. So when you're trying to do something, whether it's hacking, lying, even some of your other skills, your specific companions will like add to your skill. And then there's perks where you can get them to add even more to your skill if you take them with you.
Oh, cool. Should we just lean into what we're already doing?
Yeah. So
Probably for this short of a time, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have to go with I guess we don't have to go with melee. Do you want a melee build?
Melee.
Since we're we're going strong. I know Mikey likes to play melee.
Guy,
Yeah. So and then do we want to do dialogue or do we want to do what else should we go with? Because we are
Max
stupid,
intimidate.
Yeah, let's go dialogue since we're
we're already so good at it.
We're stupid
Oh,
and
so the
charming.
points they're adding.
Right.
10.
Yeah. So that's because you've got them tagged right now.
Yeah, so now we can actually terrify creatures because we're intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great.
Oh,
I
wow.
really love it. The fact that we have dialogue skills give you debuffs or gives you buffs against characters. I guess debuffs to the creatures you're fighting. Your intimidate will give you a debuff to creatures you're fighting. Persuade is humans, lie is mechanicals, as we call them, with robots. So even if you're like really concentrating on dialogue, you get an added thing for when you're playing when you're in combat that you can't avoid.
That's
if you can't
cool.
avoid it, I guess. These are really flavored to just kind of give you a feel for what the world is. You've been 70 years in hibernation, so the people who are expecting you to come fill this job are probably dead. But this will just give you a point in one of your skills.
Beverage service technician.
Yeah.
Or if you drinking has debuffs associated with once it
Right.
wears off. So like the beverage service technician, you have less of a time for that.
Interesting.
Sous chef.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's one of those things when you're starting the game it feels overwhelming, but like going back looking at it later, it's like okay, like I understand like what all this means a lot better.
Are these jobs affected by the stats that we?
No, this is 100% just flavor.
Okay.
This is the conceit here is this is the aptitude test you took before you got on the ship. So this just gives you bonuses whether
Good
it's
effectorations.
yeah.
Like that to me, like that actually I could see the benefit in. Yeah.
So if that one's
Yeah,
good,
on
we
hard.
can't take that.
on hard that you need to start paying attention to that stuff. There's not as much need to kind of micromanage your consumables when you're playing in normal or story mode, but when you get into hard and definitely supernova, that stuff becomes really important.
Sub sous chef.
Yeah, melee.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why does a sub chef get a one-handed melee bonus?
They cut a lot of
You're
things.
holding out for that advancement to poultry inspection, which is due any year now.
Say
Yeah,
this.
our writers
Can you
especially
really compete
did a
with
great job with all this
Spacer's
stuff.
choice frozen dinner?
All right.
She's perfect.
All right.
We could just go from there.
Yeah,
How do you
I
think
went with
this
the
is
male
gonna go?
character, so yeah, we can do female.
Yay!
Do you guys want to randomize and be terrified, or do we want to just go with this, or want to look at her different haircuts we can give her?
Yeah, we can look through some things. There's a lot.
Yeah. So those are obviously your basic head types, and then you could modify them from there.
One and 8.
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere in 8 there or something I liked.
Was it 8? Yeah.
Looks cool.
Cool.
Default, We have anytime we do a character creator, we have a character named Defaulté.
Put an E at the end.
You just put an E at the end of default.
Sounds good. I don't think we start you with default though. It just says put your
Yeah, it's
name in there.
Random, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about skin color. Or most of it, honestly, but
Oh, these get kind of
it's like hairstyles is kind of the. Oh yeah,
Yeah, there you
eyes are
go.
great.
There you
Freaky
go.
eyes, yeah.
Yeah, let's look at some hairstyles. See what we can do with her hair.
And then are the male, female different, or are they all the same?
No, actually, yeah, they're all the same. You can use any hair combination on her, male or female, including facial hair.
Nice. These are some good hair options.
3 and 7 looked cool. Are they talking about hair, or are they behind us?
Their delay is only about 5 seconds, so usually they're pretty on the ball. They
3 and
seem
7.
pretty on the ball.
So I like on 11.
All right, let's
That's
look.
7 and
7 is cool.
3.
Oh, 3 is dope.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Let's do that. You want to go with this hair color, or should we explore it a little bit?
Let's match the eyes.
There we go.
That's
Very
pretty
cool.
good.
Actually, it's not bad. You got a little Joker.
Little
look
Joker
going.
vibe, yeah, that's true.
Just got some different eyebrow styling options.
Frida. Joker run. Joker would be max intelligence, low strength
that's
though,
good.
so we're not Joker.
Do you want
Yeah.
facial hair?
It's
The
a little
mutton
too much
chops.
for me. It's a little.
I'm always big on the mutton chops, but yeah.
We
right.
don't want to scare Bloodworth.
Yeah. Are we going default?
Defaulté!
Oh, Ian. It's funny because I was actually thinking, it's like, I don't know what I would name it. And now Ian's
We
just
really
got the
need
perfect answer.
we really need the accent over that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have the accent?
Get right back on that when we get back to work.
Yeah. Patch, day 1 patch.
All right, so here's obviously you can review your character and make sure it's what
Yeah.
you want to play. I think this is the character we really want to jump in there with. So
This is always the most terrifying part
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Like when you see everying you've done, and you're like, oh god.
yeah.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
So yeah, we were saying the other day that you can read that one of two ways. He had made his choice and it was perfect timing, or he just picked whatever he happened to be on when the alarm started going off. We'll leave that up to you to decide.
Definitely the latter. In our case.
I think it's cool though that we're starting out with already a second level on Intimidate.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Tim and Charlie came up with how that would work in terms of the categories and the tagging skills. I thought that was that felt really cool. It felt like you weren't committing too much. At the beginning
Yeah.
of an RPG, you're always like, I don't know. I mean, the classic example for us was always the beginning of Fallout. You could put points into energy weapons and then not see an energy weapon for half the game. You're just
Right.
like, oh, great.
Bloody mess all the way though.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, because that was immediate feedback. Though,
Yeah.
especially when the rats killed you at the very beginning. All right, so Phineas is going to give us our rundown on what's going on here.
Ah,
comes out
there
on
you
Friday.
are. Wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speed.
Cool.
Is this the game where a chimp and a lady steal some stuff from a pig? No, that is not this game.
That game doesn't come out for another 12 years.
70 years, give or take.
Do you know what they're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reviving
Yeah,
someone
I've
after
seen
so
that
long
trailer
leads to
as well.
quite horrifying results. It's called
can't wait,
explosive
though.
cell death.
That'll
but
be- yeah.
it's
It
really
looks-
more
it
of a
looks cool.
liquefaction.
If real.
Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you.
Yeah,
I
good
know it's a lot
faces.
to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow
Yeah,
colonists.
our voice actors. I
I'd
mean,
see it done myself, of course,
just did
but
some fantastic
there's a
work, and I
sizable
love a lot of our
bounty on my head.
character faces too. But
Now, My ship is
it's always really,
inoperative, but I've
you know,
managed to hire a
cool to be
smuggler
able
help
to
me out.
like finally get your
I see
writing
we're
read
in
by
position.
professional
Oh,
actors
yeah.
who bring the characters to life, make it sound like 10 times better than the robo voice, obviously.
Oh, yeah, do you have like before voiceover? Do you have like robot speech to text? for
Yes.
temp stuff? Oh, I never knew that. That's
yeah.
funny.
So, I was going to say timing. You don't really get timing because a
Yeah.
lot of it, it's obviously timing is not a built-in thing for robo voice, but it's better than just reading it constantly, so you at least get a feel for what it's going to sound like.
Oh, so they're repainting it as a loss, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a cover up.
Yep.
And even then, beyond that, they're kind of like, you talk to some of the people in this podunk out of the way town you first go to, and they don't even seem to think it was a real thing.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, it's like stories their grandparents told them.
Exactly. They're starting to think it's a myth.
chat requests DLC robo voice.
It'll be cheaper for us.
There's still certain lines I always hear in that voice. Like, can we talk?
with you. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
It's a good start.
Thanks. Yeah, it was. We went through a lot of different versions of this to figure out what the best way to start it was, and yeah, we just really wanted to get you this great vista as soon as you get out of your pod here,
You've landed good.
and then of course the unfortunate
Close by.
Captain Hawthorne.
Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well.
So I don't want to. I'll try not to give too many spoilers, but something I think is really interesting that I wanted to point out, which is it's a mild spoiler. It doesn't really change much. It's just a really great example of how we tried to approach our tone and layering.
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay, that's a funny bit. This guy was standing there holding it instead of planting it. You're like, just this guy was just an idiot. It's kind of silly. But later on, when you're talking to the ship's computer, because it was his ship, you find out they had to make an emergency landing. He had a concussion.
Oh.
So and then we'd like to have that like silly and dark at the same time, where it's just like you start digging, kind of peeling away the layers and see, different things that are going on than you might have thought were happening. Even on little details like that, that's really fun for the writers to just throw stuff like that in there. Plus, it really makes it feel more like a living world.
Yeah. Dark is funny anyway.
I think so. And Tim loves his silliness, so that's kind of where that tone comes from, the combination of those two things.
Perfect balance. I love the color palette in this game.
Yeah. There's a lot of bright tones.
Yeah, we were definitely trying to stay away from a grim, dark, brown gray world.
And I think it's one of the things that people noticed immediately with that reveal trailer. It's like this is, it's like Fallout, but it's super colorful.
Yeah.
And I think some people felt like we weren't going to have some of the dark tones as much because of that in the trailer. I mean, a lot of people really reacted well to it, but there were some people who didn't, thought it was going to lack some of our darkness. But you've played for a while. It's there.
It's still there, Chad. Don't worry.
We made sure to get it in there.
Come here.
Good.
You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stinks.
Yeah. So the soldiers all have to give the company slogan when they talk to you.
So do you guys want to call out what you want to do, or do you want me to pick these, or?
I feel like if the dumb option is there, we should take it.
I would
Always.
That's the rule right there.
I think it's interesting. The response here, I think, is an interesting insight if you do the medical.
Yeah, and we should always pick
Looks like the bleeding
things that we
stopped.
know we don't have the
I
numbers
already
for.
won. If you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice.
Yeah,
Dumb.
So like Spacer's Choice, the company doesn't want them getting outside medical help because it's taking away business or whatever. Yeah.
That's funny. So it's a post-capitalist hellscape.
Yeah.
We're out of control. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills.
What's interesting
Thought I
to,
could take
to
it.
me though is that like each
Then my gun
one
was
of
fired
these
right through
towns
my
that you
side.
visit
What if
has a
I
very
can't
different
breathe?
take on
Just barely scraped
how
by
they
with my life.
relate to the
Crawled in
companies.
here.
So
Oh.
like you
Off
get
the
like this
exit
one
with those
perspective of how things are in the colony from this first area, but then the next area you get a completely different, because they just have a different relationship with the board and all the different corporations.
Yeah, we really put a lot of effort into finding the right balance of that we wanted to inform the player of all this through talking to characters and just kind of getting that feel and tone as opposed to really kind of just telling them that was going on. And to get that different feel from the different places was something that we really concentrated a lot on.
Well, and since you've been on ice for 70 years, that's a natural way to learn about everything.
Yeah, and like up front, we give you very low skill checks because we wanted people to be able to, experience this. And it's, and the feeling from a lot of people is that, you get used to being able to talk your way through things and do all these different things. And when you start losing that ability, it really kind of draws you in. Oh, maybe I should keep doing that with my character. Maybe I should build it in that direction because we're trying to just show you all the different choices up front.
Yeah.
If there's something we've learned over the years, it's that if you don't obviously show players that there are those choices, it just feels like whatever path they pick is the one path that exists through the game.
Right. I feel like our character would not ask more questions, right? Oh.
I don't know, are we going to be evil this playthrough?
When you're this dumb, concepts like good and evil don't really come into play.
Yeah, I don't think you need to worry about shooting civilians. At least not yet.
Cartoony 12 doesn't want us to kill him.
Okay.
Oh, all of chat. Oh yeah, melee only. You can kill him if it's melee.
I think that, you might want to be picking up all of your consumables that you find.
There we go, there we go.
Oh my.
It's
Oh, but
melee,
you get
but it's
armor,
okay.
at
It's
least.
melee. It was okay. Those are some cool looking gloves, chat. You're right. Our character doesn't understand guns.
They're too complex for them.
Yeah, too complex. Simple machines, nuh-uh.
Oh, you got 1 point higher. Great going, Chad.
That 1 point's gonna come to play. Oh, we botched it.
What just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Whoa.
Yeah, so tactical time dilation, the world slows down. In-game, we just explained it as a side effect of you being frozen so long combined with how he revived you. But it's good for players who want to add more strategy to the game, or actually people who might not be as good with Twitch-based shooters and just want to really take their time.
Somebody asked if there are axes or shotguns. There are both. My favorite melee weapon, personally, is the impact hammer.
Ah.
Like, that has a really good
Is it
feel.
like a rocket-propelled hammer or something?
Is there any kind of
There's
propulsion to it, or?
You're not talking about the science hammer.
No, I'm talking about just like the
impact hammer.
Yeah, impact hammers. Yeah.
I don't know. When we find one, I'll look at it and tell you. Yeah, but there's a science. We have a science weapon for every combat style. So there's a handgun, a long gun, a melee weapon.
Was he afraid of you?
He could very well have been because of your dialogue skills. So remember, humans will cower if you get the roll.
Hmm.
I think it's 20% chance or something like that they'll cower if you have a high enough persuasion.
The impact hammer thing is the same one that Parvati has, that she uses.
Yeah, there looks like there's some kind of gears and electricity working in there.
Oh, is there a... Chad is wondering if there's a way to adjust the size of, like, subtitles and stuff.
There is not.
There's not, Chad.
Those staffs I never really used.
Oh, my friend.
But it telescopes.
I was gonna say. I believe Mikey is going to show you how good these are. Yeah, I thought you were going to say this, because a lot of people just love the telescoping staff.
You goofed, Blood.
I'm more of a ranged anyways, focus more on the assault rifles and the hunting rifles.
Yeah, I always get into the sniper. I'll start a combat, especially when I'm doing a leadership playthrough. Yeah, we haven't really talked about that. Leadership playthrough is where you're really putting a lot of points into things that are going to buff up your companions. You know, I'll snipe guys from a distance and then send my companions in to clean stuff out.
And then, have we already got the charge swings unlocked?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that actually took me a while because I had melee pretty low on my build.
Perfect blocks.
Yeah, it's a good thing we got Mikey playing this. I've never played. I've never done well at melee.
That guy found a body. It's okay.
They're stupid. They don't realize what's going on.
They've met their match. Yeah, I like going stealth and sniper kind of too and stuff like that.
Have you already unlocked the bonus from attacking from stealth?
No, because I am not stealthy at all. I have like 9
Oh,
points
that's
in
right.
it.
Yeah.
That's okay. He doesn't know.
It definitely gets a different feel when you go up to hard. So yeah, I mean, to make our melee weapons a little bit more on parity with ranged, they have an area of, all of them have area effect.
Okay.
And you will always hit. You'll always get at least 1 point of damage if you're anywhere close to the enemy you're swinging at.
Somebody asked if there was a weight limit, and yeah, that is part of
Yeah.
it. You do get encumbered if you get too much weight. You can really easily break down gear to get parts, so you're not just dropping it on the ground, which I like.
Yeah, and you can use those parts at a workbench to repair your armor or to upgrade it.
Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these
Well, there's
marauders gambling about.
enough perks and mods and stuff to where you can keep ahead of what you're picking up most of the time, and so that way you can still hang on to stuff to sell.
You pulling my limb? I mean, yeah, of course. Marauders. Bunch of addle-brained derelicts. I could round them up all by myself. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son.
Go for it.
Seriously?
We've got the points. We
Those
have to
marauders-
use it.
You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
But just watch them. This to me was the funniest thing.
Them fighting the marauders.
Yeah, because she makes this big deal, and then they just get themselves shot down. I'm like, what? This is your job.
Can you save them, or do they always die?
No, that's funny because in normal difficulty, most times they survive.
Most times.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, she went down like immediately,
Uh-huh.
but the other guy survived.
You plan on normcore or hard?
I started on normal.
And then
Once
you-
I got into Monarch, I bumped it up to hard. Which Monarch is one of the other planets.
Yeah, Monarch is the planet that the board is kind of abandoned. It didn't terraform correctly, so there's giant monsters on it, and it was just it wasn't cost effective to keep colonists there. But there's still a lot of people there who've kind of living outside the board, outside the board's control.
Oh, they got good armor, huh?
We don't need that.
Yay, melee only.
I was just going through Cascadia yesterday, and some very cool stuff in there, like very worth poking around that place and learning about the lore of how it ended up the way it did.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable
Do you
plunder.
want to level up? Spend
Sure.
some points. So we definitely got to keep putting our points into melee.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what to do.
Where are we at with that? You might want to put a couple points in dialogue as well.
What else? Oh, the inspiration, right? Was also the other high one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That looks good. Oh, got a perk too.
All right, Heber.
Here's on.
You guys got a preference for perks? You've been playing a while. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what all we've got here. But yeah, we can definitely go through and look at them. Oh yeah, your
Wolf is if you
TDD.
play without companions, or
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Speed might be good since you're doing melee. Armor's also probably a good idea
Yeah.
in melee.
There's a couple good options here.
Move pack mule. Probably won't come into effect now, but
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about encumbrances or companion stuff too much for where we're gonna be. Yeah, I'd say either armor or speed, or health is always a good base layer.
yeah,
What do you think?
yeah. Health maybe.
Yeah,
Alright.
sounds good.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
I love some of the snarky responses. What are you gonna do? Self-destruct?
Check-in procedures initiated. Disengage in airlocks. Prepare to reject all boarding parties in 5,
Her angry face.
3, 2, 1.
It is great.
Gotta go for
You
it.
are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Hawthorne's dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders...
Yeah, I love this. This justification.
You understand?
Love classic robot logic. Not in smile.
Welcome back, Captain Hawthorne. Unfortunately,
Yeah, somebody
our
else
engine is currently
we were showing this
inoperable.
to a couple
Our
days
main
ago.
drive suffered a
Pointed out that
critical
we don't
power
even know if
failure,
the
and
other guy was actually Alex
emergency
Hawthorne.
Oh, yeah.
The main drive and power regulators
She's had a bunch of Alex
irreparably
Hawthornes through the
damaged
years.
and must
That's
be
funny.
replaced.
That was never our intent, but I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, we don't have the points for that, so we should definitely try it, right?
Oh no, you don't.
No, we
it would
do.
be grayed out
Oh.
if you don't have the points. You
Oh,
can't
I
choose
see, I
it.
see,
Yeah.
I see, I see.
However, the probability
But you get
of
experience
locating
because you
power
do.
regulators
Yeah.
within a worker settlement
Yeah, that's a fun
falls
little
within acceptable
encouragement too.
parameters of certainty.
Getting XP every time you use one of those
High-capacity
options.
Power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
Great ship name.
Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
This time.
And yeah, that's something that continues to come up throughout is like because you have that ID, you can identify yourself to people as Captain Hawthorne.
Oh, funny.
Yes.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
I'll be with you, friend. I'm Ernie. I'm the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
So yeah, there's 3 different conversations depending on whether Mercer dies, if the lieutenant is still alive, and then if they're both dead, this guy shows up.
Mind telling me what happened here?
Yeah, go for it. That's a good one.
Accidentally, brutally shot themselves, huh? Unbelievable.
Second time this month.
Better get cleaned up. Can't just leave company property scattered about, bleeding out on the dirt.
Don't you care that they died?
That who died? Oh, right. Yeah, well, we do need all the hands we got, what with folks in Edgewater dropping off like cysty pig tumors. Less competition don't come promoting time.
Cysty.
You don't want to amble on over to Edgewater too early.
Yeah, the cysty pigs, for people unaware, are genetically engineered pigs that have cancerous tumors that taste like bacon. So you don't have to kill the pigs. These tumors ripen, I guess, and fall off and are harvested.
Ripen.
Yeah.
That is vile.
Ripen.
You get to see them up close later on. That was the E3 demo.
Yeah, on Monarch.
Don't get paid bits to chat with strangers.
You get a nice view of them if you come up through that one ladder, if you come in through the hidden waterfall entrance.
Goodbye, Ernest.
All right, now it's
Are we
wide open.
All right, do we want to try to hit those primals and die? Or do we want to go to the Marauder camp?
Do you want to take a peek at the map so people kind of like what this first area looks like? So yeah, so that's where we are, and then you got the main town to the right, and all these other settlements and structures out there.
This is just the first zone, too.
Yeah. This is kind of your introductory tutorial zone to get used to the game before you get your power regulator to take your ship away from there.
What would Huber do?
Found one of these guys later.
What if tumors are tasty? Of course
There's
they
an
are.
axe. Get that hatchet for Huber.
Sometimes we call Huber tumor. Shovel too. Is the shovel a weapon only,
Yeah.
or can you like find secret things to dig up?
No, I don't think so.
I was playing too much Link's Awakening, I guess.
It's funny, you're using melee, so you don't need ammo.
I was gonna say might want to grab that to really. That's great. Ammo's just free money, and if you're playing a melee build.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because you can sell them.
Yeah, you can get a lot of money if you're playing melee by collecting all the ammo and just selling it off.
I like the lighting on the tops of the rocks, or the moss, or whatever.
Yeah, I thought the artist did a fantastic job here. It looks kind of Earth-like, but it's also got some alien kind of vibe to it.
Yeah. Ooh, he's a hooligan. The previous guys were goons.
Oh my.
Hard seems hard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Excellent.
We gotta get a little hatchet time in though.
Get that out of there.
You've got you covered. You don't want to heal yourself.
The gas mask is cool.
And then, because the temperament is really low, it's not
We didn't
refilling too much.
We didn't lower our temperament, did we?
No, but it's just at its base. We didn't up it.
Yeah.
Average.
Because when it's higher, you'll see your regen going up fairly quickly.
Yeah, and we didn't put any points into. Did we put points into medical?
If I recall, our medical was really bad.
Yeah, that's what I thought. If you do put points in that, it'll open up more slots in your inhaler.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can mix in different buffs every time that you take a whiff.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
It is funny to think about inhaling a bunch of bananas, though.
Don't knock it till you tried it, I guess. Who's this little guy?
These are canids. They aren't native to this colony. They're in all the colonies. They were bred to be more hardy to live in these different colonies for humans to bring with them.
Smells faintly of rotten spratwurst. It's funny because like those kinds of things, like it's like when I'm playing, I don't see them, but when you're playing, it's like, oh, there's that extra flavor text to look at. Because I'm just so focused on like doing the damage.
Yeah. Mikey's gonna take the whole rest of our time just trying to get around these canids.
Do they pack a wallop? Can you pet a canid?
Nope.
No.
But you can attack a canid.
You can pet them really hard. 99.
No
And
one
you didn't
knows.
aggro anyone.
Nice.
Oh, that guy's done.
There we go.
Oh, crap.
They just... Oh, no, now they know.
The purple is the time dilation?
Yes.
Yeah, so once it's past the white mark,
you can use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, you can perk how much your max is and how fast it regenerates.
Ooh, was that a perfect block?
Yep. Oh, God. They have guns.
Yeah, starting off melee on
Hard,
hard.
yeah.
That's
I also.
Yes, that's what happens when you do that.
I imagine our character is so dumb she doesn't understand like how they're hurting her from afar. It's like, what are those?
Can you find one-of-a-kind weapons with names and extra stats? Yes. They got little swirlies behind them too, so you can.
Well, there's
identify
pristine.
them.
Yeah, there's pristine, which are more valuable and they don't degrade as fast.
But then you've also got the named weapons.
Yeah.
I don't have called shot at all, do I?
I thought you.
No, no, I do not.
Oh, called shot for that.
That would be convenient.
But I thought you didn't you open up the weak spots on them?
For
Not the called shots for when in TTD.
Yes, with melee.
Yeah.
The Supernova, does it even have autosaves, or is it only manual save?
It has autosaves. That's a good question. I know that you can only save in your ship, and I think it just has it auto saves in a much more limited fashion, like not as frequently. I don't remember the specifics on that.
Hi, friend. Hi, friend.
Yeah, I think the big challenge is just trying to get in close to these guys.
Especially since there's one sniper.
Yeah, this is
Actually, where is... Yes.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Oh, jerk.
Flanked you. Does melee doesn't let you do cripple and maim and all that, or is that later?
Are you talking about like what our version of called shots are in TTD?
Yeah.
You have to unlock that, right?
Yeah, I think we should have it.
Yeah, I've really never played a melee build.
Just
Kill the
yeah.
main.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there it's not showing anything when you're targeting.
Man, melee on hard might be too hard. And
We're gonna do this.
Are we allowed to say how many planets there are? I don't know, chat.
I
don't
mean,
know.
I don't even
planets
wanna
is a
know.
weird thing. There's a lot of locations that aren't planets.
Yeah, there's two main planets. There's an asteroid. We won't talk about all the locations, but
Yeah, I do think that is nice to not know,
Yeah.
because sometimes they
Many.
pop up later.
I, for one, don't want to know.
And also, some planets have multiple locations.
yeah, like Terra 2, which is the planet you're on now. This is the more successfully terraformed planet, supposedly. It definitely didn't terraform as badly as Monarch, which is the other planet.
I like this comment. Defaulta does not understand the concept of planet.
How big is each area compared to follow it through? I guess that's really hard to say because
Yeah,
it's not a contiguous map.
Monarch is the biggest, though, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest single area that's contiguous.
Multiple towns.
Yeah. You know, we locked ourselves into that a little bit when we decided to make a sci-fi pulp space opera where you're supposed to be, you know, the hero flying from planet to planet. You can't really have giant contiguous maps.
Oh, hey.
What are you down? What are you down to? You know, in terms of enemies here.
2.
Nope. Heal.
Oh, I thought you had it. I thought you had it.
Why? This is what the Twitch Plays thing is gonna be like later. I just want you to know.
they're gonna be stuck on that log.
For experienced RPG and action combat players, hard recommended difficulty. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I started on normal and bumped it to hard later, because I do feel that like even on normal, like going up against some of the primals, which we haven't seen yet,
Yeah,
it was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And remember, chat, we like intentionally are imposing like
Yeah,
stupid rules on ourselves.
We've really been this hard on Mikey.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing in Emerald Vale and you find it too easy, then you should definitely bump it up. But I think Emerald Vale's a great place to get a feel for the game, and
yeah. And you can bump it up and down and everything except Supernova. Once you bump it down on Supernova, there's no going back.
Yeah, because we have an achievement for playing the whole game in Supernova. So.
Oh my gosh. I feel bad for PlayStation owners. Like to try to get the platinum is like, too bad.
I feel like I should be level 3 here and not level 2.
You want to go to town and come back?
Yeah,
and
I think it's time to move on from this camp.
Yeah, we should go to town.
Oh, right, we don't have to be doing this.
It's an open world-ish game.
Yeah, this is just side content.
That's right.
Yeah, let's go cruise into town and maybe pick up some quests.
I think we talked about that before the stream. But yeah, that's kind of the thing with how this is designed is that in a way, like most of the game is optional.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a main story arc, but anything beyond that is optional. If you're playing a psychopath playthrough where you're killing everybody, you can still do the main story arc, but you're not going to get a whole lot of side quests.
So I've been doing kind of everything, and I'm a slowpoke, and so I've put about 50 hours in so far, getting close to the end of the game, but it sounds like the average is more around 30.
Yeah, that's what we've seen a lot of.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
Oh yeah, Silas.
My brain for a second, I was like, why are you walking right up? They're going to kill you. I was like, all right, these are good guys.
You're like, yeah, I know.
Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses.
Yeah, throughout the game we still have very low dialogue checks on some of the, skill checks on some of the dialogues that were just for flavor and for role playing, and not to really get you anything.
Dumb.
Nah, I ain't that fancy. I just dig holes in the ground and fill them with dead folk.
Power regulator there.
Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road.
Let's be on our way.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to get a frontier feel, as well as having like our giant sci-fi pulpy technology. So this was kind of, we did a concept piece, or one of our artists did a concept piece really showing that off, and pretty much looks almost exactly like Emerald Vale or Edgewater ended up looking like. So we're pretty happy with it when we first kind of nailed that, or kind of dialed that in. We really wanted, very analog looking machines, very chunky technology, a lot of gears, just a lot of bulk to things. Definitely nothing slick. And trying to mix that with kind of the sci-fi frontier was a little bit of a challenge at first. It took us a little while to really nail it.
My guest for the upcoming shoot is here. I'll be right back.
So yeah, so this looks very much like the original concept for this that we just thought was really cool looking.
One of the things, again, this is like a loading screen thing that pops up. I love that the windows are not actually windows.
Yes.
They're essentially like TVs.
They're faux windows. Yeah. If you go outside. So yeah, they're supposed to make it, these are like really just crappy shipping crates they brought over and threw facades on and some fake windows. When you go outside the town, you can see some that are falling off, and you can see how they're made or how they're powered. This town used to be a lot bigger. This town used to take up all of the Edgewater area, but they had to build walls around it and bring it in because of all the marauders and wildlife out there, and their population isn't what they were hoping it was going to be. Number one, because the second ship that you were on never arrived,
right?
But also because they're having falling population. You'll find out if we talk to the right people that there's a plague running through the town, and it happens fairly frequently.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is writing up promotion. Purchased 3 criminal investigations, and the 4th one's free.
Yeah, I really don't think you're going to be doing that.
Nope. Yeah.
Because the marauders, she's talking about it. There's 3 named marauders, and they're much more difficult than the regular marauders.
But I am going to talk about these.
Yeah, so we're going to look into turning Phineas in.
A wanted poster.
Oh yeah,
I've
been curious about that. Yeah, might as well. I'm only playing this for an hour and a half.
Has been posted for information pertaining to the whereabouts of Phineas V. Wells.
I'm willing to collect.
Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location,
the next place you go after, the next place the story sends you to after this area is where you can start down that path.
Interesting.
Yeah, but she's, so if you want to like explore that, we put that in here so you can kind of see where you're going, what your path's going to be.
Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics, which is itself a member of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board.
I think it's
Also,
it's an
I
interesting thing in these
specialize in
kind of games
processing
to where
fingerprints.
like you
So
can
unless you're carrying Wells's finger on you,
almost be
there's not a lot I
convinced
can
that
do.
like the way that you're going is the way that the game is supposed to go, and not
Yeah.
even think about like, oh, there were other options here that I
Yeah.
didn't even know about.
So we try as often as possible to not only show you that what your choices are, but also reinforce them after you've made them. Like, and the game also we try to make it feel like the game is reinforcing your decisions and not in a judgmental way. If you want to go around killing everybody, obviously you have to, deal with consequences of that. But the game really is made to support any type of character you want to play and really have it be a fun experience. And we really tried to keep our lore in world and not have a lot of just authoritative, encyclopedia entries that you could find.
Right.
Things are like written as memos or letters from people to each other, messages from people to each other. So there's a lot of times where you're like, okay, is this what's really going on, or is this, just this person's interpretation of it? So there's a lot of unreliable narration going on around here. We wanted players to be able to kind of participate in piecing together exactly the lore that's going on or what the history of this place is.
The grease monkey, Argo?
Oh, yeah, going straight up. Yeah, I see what you're doing. You're getting power bodies so you can actually kill some things.
Yeah, we got that really high inspiration. We got to use that.
Yeah.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's mostly on account of what we're feeding
Let's
into
just
the
go talk to
mechanism.
him. We'll interrupt this. They
Seems
could go
we've
on
got
for a little while.
guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no
She's
forewarning.
looking away, but she's the one responsible for telling you.
She already told him that, by the way. She said somebody's here. It looks like somebody's here to see you.
Henry Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
Yeah, what are you talking
Shirt,
about?
pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker?
Yeah, and the way the contracts work, at least with Spacer's Choice, they
Only
essentially
regulator
own
Brad
you.
isn't hooked up
Yeah,
to town
all the
traffic.
corporations are like that, except
Todd's
for
reliable
there's
and
one that's
keen on
broken
his
away from the
management.
board. I won't get too much into that.
I beg
You've
your pardon.
experienced them on
I am
Monarch,
most
obviously.
emphatically not keen on any such thing.
They have weekends. Their
I can't
workers
let
have
you
Yeah.
weekends.
power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
Someone asked if companions know how to be
Marauders?
stealthy.
Oh, sorry. Were you
Oh no! So someone was asking if companions know how to be stealthy. They kneel down with you when you're when you're trying to be stealthy, but they don't trigger NPCs at all or opponents at all. They're just looking at the player. We didn't want your companions triggering off opponents or enemies.
Come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their
This is
leader,
Brad, by the way.
Adelaide.
Hey, Brad.
Hey.
Leonard, nice to meet you.
He's on a stream later this afternoon, so.
Visitors came back to town.
Yes, like I was just saying with the lore, even in the dialogues, we try to give you the information about the world through the quests, through things you can ask NPCs, without having them do big giant info dumps on you.
Yeah.
Miss Holcomb. But I cannot deny that
And we put a lot of time also into getting their a very unique speech pattern for them, kind of like inspired by Firefly or
in order
Deadwood.
to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
So, Brad, to catch you up a little bit, we were pulled out of hibernation from a ship that's just been abandoned, full of colonists. Mad scientist wants to revive everyone on the ship, but he needs you to go get more chemicals. But you crash land on this planet, and the ship
Can we talk?
that you need to take needs a power regulator, and so he just told the guy upstairs just told you where to get one.
You just want to get out of here.
And this is your first
likely don't
companion.
wanna tag along like me. It's just Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but
Oh yeah, and we
that's
got
not the
Defaulted
only side of
as the name.
Oh no.
Thanks to Ian.
Oh man.
Also, our character is really dumb and focused on
to
melee.
Mr. Thompson,
Excellent.
a person's a
Keyword
gear.
character.
It does its job quietly.
Best character.
It stutters, it gets replaced.
It's part of the whole
Deserters
Slacker
are
Zone
decent
thing.
folk.
We gotta get as close as we possibly can to it.
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, get my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me
I thought I
around,
had my drink there, but I
asking
remembered it.
questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet.
You can come sit up here. I've got to bounce
Oh,
a little
I'm
early
gonna-
to do this
I'm waiting to
shoot.
get back from Jones, mess with him.
Oh, okay.
Just chilling for a minute.
Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power.
Yeah, one thing
They'll have no
I think
rights to see,
is
no
also
rights to
interesting
cook, or be at the mercy
is,
of marauders or worse.
you know, as you're saying about learning about the world through talking to people and through discovering terminals and notes and all this, is it really can change and influence how you see people and how you approach these different situations. So like even here, like it's interesting to like just jump straight to talking to Thompson and then have him, you know, tell you about the deserters, because at this point, because you haven't been around town that much, you don't know that much about Thompson or about the town or about what's going on.
Yeah.
And so you don't have maybe as much of a picture of like what to think about why people would have deserted.
Yeah, and obviously you could have talked to everybody in town before going to talk to Reed. You could have gone to Adelaide and the deserters and talked to them first before you came in here and talked to Reed.
Yeah, that's interesting to think about.
We covered all of it. It's funny, Tim was playing, Tim was I think on his 17th playthrough now. Co-game director Tim King. Me and him sit in the same office, and he was constantly trying to find ways, find things that we didn't cover, and he has yet to find, I think he found like maybe one that we really didn't cover that we missed on our checklist.
Oh, it's like going out of order?
Yeah, like one of his last playthroughs, he specifically did everything as out of order as you could. And there was a couple moments that were slightly weird, and there was I think one he found where it wasn't broken, it still worked, but it was obvious, it felt a little buggy.
It was wrong.
Yeah, but for all the different choices we give you, I'm pretty proud of that.
Very cool,
that I was able to keep him from finding that as hard as he tried.
Thank the law.
Yeah, someone with inside knowledge trying to break the game can't do it.
It's the
That's
boss
pretty
finally
good.
came to his senses.
And he still found quests that he
You ever
hasn't
swung
found.
a truncheon?
Oh,
Yeah. Really?
16 in.
Yeah, and he just got an end slide he hadn't seen before.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Because again, like I was saying, it's like when you're in the moment, like you kind of convince yourself that you're seeing everything.
Yeah.
In a way.
I'm talking about mechanical
I mean, and
soldier.
what we were talking about before the podcast, you know, we really were focused on making sure that this was a polished game, and because of our limited resources and time, we made the choice to kind of make it a tighter experience. But that means that when you finish your playthrough, hopefully you're still as fired up as you were when you started to just jump back in and see different permutations of the game.
I seen them over by the old power plant.
Those
Clattering
captures are
about,
just for easy update. I never
firing
even
at
thought
the
it was
birds.
worth it.
Orchestrating
But
their
sure.
uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on
Somebody
over
asked,
that hill,
what are the
where
devs'
will
favorite
you
playstyles?
be?
Well, I think Mikey's is
Cowering
melee.
beneath your cot?
I love
with
Shoulder
a
to
tinge
shoulder with the
of weapons so I can cripple them and then run up.
Ooh. You're just falling for this guy. This is great. The dumb options here.
Yep.
It's every different build I've tried, I've just really had a great time with. The first thing I played was somebody who was very much a sniper and would send his companions in.
Just behind our beloved town.
Like I was talking about, I played one with low temperament, a character with low temperament, which was a totally different experience. Stealthy characters. I haven't tried one a lone wolf build yet.
Yeah, lone wolf is. It's interesting because like it's not something I typically want to do, but I can see it being if you want to up the challenge.
Yeah.
That can definitely be a way to do it because your companions definitely can do a lot of damage, especially if you can really good weapons.
How many companions can you have at a time?
So, you can only have 2 at a time.
Oh, okay.
And then
there's a total of 5 that you can get.
Oh, okay.
6 or yeah?
6?
Yeah.
I lost count.
Yeah, there's 6.
Yeah, that's right.
Get it right.
Yeah, you would think I would know this.
But what's cool is there's rooms for everyone on the ship.
On the ship? Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
And they'll talk in the kitchen and all that.
My whole life, my dream, probably ever since I saw Cowboy Bebop, was like, living on my own spaceship like that,
Yeah, man, it really does feel like you'd be into getting through this.
Oh, I'm stoked for this.
Yeah, and I obviously am partial to a talking character because I have a lot to do with the writing and the story in the game, so I have to play that anyways, but that's the kind of character I love to play. I love it when RPGs take that into account, the kind of character you're playing in.
Engineering
and dumb. I'm just gonna give it a good smack.
Oh, yeah. And also, you're getting an addition to your engineering skill, but because she's in your party too. That's what the.
And that's why she was just suddenly there. I was like, where'd she come from? There we go.
Ooh, ow! Could you not? I mean, it's a mechanical, sure, but that just seems mean.
She's like talking down to it.
Operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics. Spacer's Choice reminds all colonists that serving the Spacer's Choice family is the highest possible reward.
The chunky technology, I just love that stuff.
So is this a voice actor with a modulator, or is this still just the temporary robot?
No, that's actually a voice actor with processing.
Nice.
Cool.
There's still one that Mikey did for the vertical slice in Roseway.
Oh, funny.
It's a stuck auto loader.
And a scientist. Trying to tell you how to find a lab.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that guy was still in there.
I'll be sure to find those characters and kill them.
Okay, buddy.
Bring us honor, soldier. You beat that scout to scrap with its own.
Playing on PC, do you recommend controller still or mouse and
I
keyboard? Both are good.
Yeah, I like mouse and keyboard myself, but that's just personal.
Yeah. I will confess. But you are one.
Tim was playing both, and it took him a little while to get used to the controller. I think he prefers the controller now.
Oh, okay.
I think if you're used to playing with a controller, people like it better that way. But I love my PC games with my mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years.
Is there actually a Switch version, chat, or are you just messing with me?
It's announced, but we're talking about it later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about it.
Sharp, ain't it?
Good question. Does it have native ultra widescreen support? I bought a stupid wide monitor and I regret it.
I'm playing on an ultra wide at home, and it's totally fine.
Oh, so, I have a super ultra.
Yeah, I don't know how super ultra wide it goes.
I was trying to play. Well, for control, I literally had to change my Windows resolution to smaller, and then for Vermintide, it supports it, but the fisheye is so insane. I was getting motion sick. So I had to I changed it to 1080, I think. Because I was just I can't handle this.
Oops, dude.
These are so cool. I like these.
Yeah, these are great.
Loading screens.
Super ultra mega ultra wide.
Yeah. Widescreen support. They have hacks to fix it. Oh, that's good info. Tanks. Because, yeah, like, for spaceship games, you know, it's pretty sweet. But otherwise... God, this town looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an active day-night cycle?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the Aurora Borealis looked so cool, but now it's like morning.
And you can sleep to advance it if you want to
Oh,
go to a
good.
certain time of day.
Classic.
You're not a big drinker, are
It didn't load when we went to the building.
Future baby.
It depends on the building. Oh, you had to look at the bathroom.
Kyle, yeah.
Kyle!
Oh.
Oh, 3, baby.
Now I know about that sealed bundle. I like the theme song popping
Can
up
you
when
get that without him telling you about that? Or is
Yeah.
it- okay.
I know when he tells you about it, you can be like, oh, I already got that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's a pet peeve
Yes, dude.
of
Yeah.
mine in RPGs. When you have to be like, okay,
Yes.
I have to exit the conversation and go back in to tell them I have it.
Right.
So yeah, anytime you have something they're sending you to get, if you already have it, you could just tell them.
Love that. Love that.
And so now you see in parentheses, that's the buffs from either your gear or from your companions.
Yes.
Oh. Man, she's making us too good at stuff. She's screwing up our build.
But it doesn't count. So like go down to hack. I want to show them this. So like it doesn't count
toward that.
the
I
unlock.
see. Okay.
Just towards things that you're doing in the world.
Yeah, I love the kind of styling the artists were able to get on the armor. Go back to the screen for a second, or your inventory screen. It's like every tutorial pop up on demand. Just the way her the cut of it and the way it's fastened. It's just like the attention to detail that they had is just phenomenal. You can see the way it's all attached together, and just that once again that pulpy sci-fi tech is just. I was really happy that they were able to get that. That was. I mean, I didn't have quite this envisioned in my brain. I gave them a very high-level version of what I wanted to see, and they just knocked it out of the park, did stuff that I hadn't even considered.
Collaboration at its best.
Oh yeah, the vendor chews her out for walking in here.
Miss Holcomb ain't allowed in this establishment. Not since that little incident.
Yeah, we just had a really talented team. The writers, the
Ask
artists,
her,
designers,
Kid.
everybody
I'm
just
running
did a
the business
fantastic job.
I won't touch anything while we're in here, Mr. Moreau.
You
I
can't
promise.
change your armor color specifically.
No, you could just change your
my
armor.
ears.
Yeah, there's a lot of similar armor
Looking
that have
pieces.
different colors.
Sure.
Yeah, they're color coded for the corporation or brand that they belong to. If it's military armor.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a brand called Rizzo's that makes pretty much anything out of purple berry, and so like their armor and their town and just like anything associated with them is just this awful blend of like light blue, pink, purple.
Yep.
That sounds great.
They
That's,
have-
that's my
they have the
aesthetic.
they make a lot of candy. They have the candy colored armor.
Alas, I have to go set up for a shoot, but this looks so cool. I'll see you guys later. Bye, chat.
Oh yeah, go back into the look at the hammer. Not here. Your inventory. Because we were asking before whether it's powered.
I didn't buy it because I didn't.
Oh, it was in his.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
the
in the
Maxwell
store.
is pretty expensive at this point.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I
But
thought
that was a
in the
named
inventory.
hammer too.
Yeah.
That's what somebody was asking about.
But it definitely is powered. It's got wiring all over it. And should we go? We got how much time?
You got 10 minutes left.
See what you want to just do the community center or just run around killing stuff? There's some marauders back over to the left.
It might
go turn this into Ludwig.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Shotgun something.
It might actually be appropriate to put it back to normal so we can actually see you successfully kill some things.
Wow, I'm hurt.
It's cold-blooded.
No, it's just to actually show it off.
How many writers are on the team? There was a core of 5 writers. Wait, let me see. It changed over the course of the project. We started with 3, then went to 5. I think eventually we had 6 or 7. I'd have to go down the list in my brain.
Bring us honor, soldier. Feast your eyes, soldier. This here's a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit. Designed to deliver a
I assume there's a lot of dialogue in this
Hand of the
game.
law.
Yeah, correct.
I call it the hand of the law. You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand.
Oh, okay. So that's the mod.
Compliments from old Ludwig. There's a workbench right through this door.
Nice.
Attach that unit to your favorite weapon and go forth into glorious battle. Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson.
What's going on out there?
I've been after a passcode for years.
Brandon.
Boss said no on account of
Put it
my
down there, the other one, yeah.
gross incompetence with all matters related to security. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module.
Yeah, it's funny because I didn't actually go back to this guy until I had gone through the geothermal plant. So again, as you're saying, like I had the thing that he wanted with me.
Your memory.
But yeah, let's.
Oh yeah, let's show him the workbench.
Mod it up. What do you want to put it on the staff?
Yeah, let's put it on this buddy. Oh, we can't.
Oh right,
it's a
because it's not
gun
for
mod.
it's not for melee, is it?
No. Well, you already have the hammer, which has
That's
shock.
already, yeah.
But besides modifying them and repairing them, you could tinker them, which raises their level and has them do more damage. You can do that with armor and weapons.
Yeah, I found that really interesting because you're not using your weapon parts or anything for that. You're just using cash.
And your engineering skill.
Yeah. Oh, so is engineering reduced the cost?
Yep.
Very interesting.
But if you find, a favorite weapon that you just can't part with, you could, bring it along with you and keep leveling it up.
Oh, really? I love that.
Yeah. You can level up to like what, 5 levels above your level, something like that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Got it. Inside voices.
I think my favorite makeshift weapon is the rake. I saw that rake. I'm like, all right.
I love what they put in our latest trailer. That really goofy looking guy staring at the rake.
Oh yeah, now you can see that the arms were crippled there from that attack.
Yeah, she's got a blinding debuff on her right now. You're still on hard, right?
No,
I went
Oh,
down.
I was about to compliment your. I was gonna say this is gonna be really hard to get through this area. On
I
hard.
would not. No, not with this level.
One thing I think is interesting is you don't see any kind of indication for like what level an enemy is.
You can.
You can?
If you use CCD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just more, yeah.
Oh.
Out of the way, so if you don't
Cool.
Yeah.
want
and
to see it, you don't have to.
Well, if you stop moving for a second. See, if you don't move, your TTD barely drains or doesn't drain at all. So that you can use that if you're not moving to just, scope out the enemies and see where, what level they are and how difficult they're going to be for you.
Nice.
Oh, he didn't.
Stare at that box, friend.
Like, just like, I'm tired of this.
Wow, not even a scratch.
Big boy.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, this guy's inside.
I like this team attack or partner attack animation. It's cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty satisfying.
Wailing on the guy while he's on the ground.
Oh yeah, because she really knocks him down.
Yeah, man.
Well, yeah, because he has a very high inspiration, so she's doing some serious damage to these people.
We made it.
Yeah, you can get mods to silence guns, which is good if you want to be a sniper.
Yeah.
They're not super common for a while, though.
Sure.
Yeah, I think people watching streams will get a lot more out of the flavor text from the TTV than players will as they're running around trying to survive. Yeah, see, this is why I never play melee characters. I would have been so dead by now.
Slow moment.
So get closer.
What's nice too is there's I don't remember if it's a perk or ability, but later on you get that you can use the inhaler to revive a companion.
Yeah.
Everyone all right?
Wait, did you say inhaler?
That's an unlock. Yeah, your med inhaler.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's an unlock where it gives them a certain percentage of the healing that you get from that.
Oh gosh. I'm trying to remember, there's like a back entrance to this place too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways in here.
Yeah, I really like this little museum here.
Here we go. Don't mess with us.
Yeah, if you're doing melee, I think really one of the ways to go is to get that stealth bonus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Taro's up there too.
And what are those called in here?
They're Patero rays. The petit is not silent.
The petit.
Those are saltuna. That's their staple food in this town. And throughout much of the colony. I almost said too much of the cannery.
We just got a couple minutes left. You want to bounce over and judge my character?
Sure.
Sure.
Take control.
Late game.
Yeah, we won't actually show any story or environment stuff. Just go through my character sheet. So level 26.
All right. So what kind of character are you playing?
I went speech, charm, and then kind of long guns. I actually stopped really using melee too much, although I still pull out that hammer once in a while. But yeah, I've negotiated my way through some things that I probably probably shouldn't have. It's pretty great. But yeah, so there's.
Did you have 8,000 rounds?
No, I got to give you immediately. I have to give you points for style.
Yes. Yeah.
That is some suave suave
But this
outfit you got
again,
there.
this is one of the great things is that this was because of something I just did that needed a lot of dialogue. And so if you go here, so see this, I had leadership skills on it, and I had leadership and persuasion skills on the top hat. So
nice.
But I also I do like when I go into town, I do like swapping people out to civilian clothes, and then going to armor when I go out into.
Do you have civilian clothes for all your followers so they don't have to wear their armor in town, or?
I did keep their default
cool.
clothes that they came with, yeah. But yeah, so here's my where my character is at.
Start. Nice.
So as I said, charm was my main thing that I went for.
Yeah.
I like that you refuse to go below average on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting the number of different builds you can get out of just these basic attributes.
And then yeah, like I said, I went with the medical technician on that.
Nice.
And then yeah, here's my skill sheet.
Oh, that dialogue's looking real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 from a nice hat.
Wow. Yeah. Well, and plus you're already level 26. The cap's at 30, so.
And then the inspiration is pretty high there too.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of stealthing around, or?
Yeah, I do stealth a lot.
Nice.
Did you have a inspiration in mind when you were making this character? Like, I want to be like this, or just as you were playing, you kind of built them out?
I definitely wanted to focus more on the dialogue options, particularly because at E3, with that interaction between Clive and
Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to see if I could,
sure,
get them to work together and see if I could actually go down that path.
What flaw? Oh, let's go. Yeah, perks.
Yeah, so perks here.
You're doing my favorite thing, which is to perk up your time dilation.
Yeah.
And armor is always good. Obviously.
Carrying a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Pack mule here.
There always comes that time where you're like, I gotta spend that perk point.
Yeah, I was doing a new playthrough recently, just vacuuming everything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap, I need something, and then luckily leveled up and got that perk.
Yeah.
This one's for ranged attacks, stacking on reducing enemy armor.
Yeah.
So sniper there. There's the revive companions.
Yeah, the revive.
And then
I love this
headshot
one.
kills
I always
exploding.
I always end up getting this one because it's great. They just this area effect, coming out of their head, hitting all their allies.
And then
what flaws did you go for? Oh wow, you're taking them all.
Yeah, I've gotten 4. So scared of primals.
Oh, that's a tough
and
one.
Canids, and then weak against plasma and corrosive. Which I think weak against plasma has been the hardest one for me to deal with.
Oh really? Oh yeah. Well, that is
Mantisaurs.
Plasma can be rough.
Yeah. And then I don't know if we want to look at reputation or not, but
sure, if you want to talk about what you did to.
Everyone likes me.
Yeah.
Everyone likes me.
I don't know, man. The board. You're only agreeable with the board. You're slacking on.
I think Spacer's Choice has the most negative.
That's cool though. So is that your goal? You're going to try to be nice to everybody?
It wasn't necessarily, but yeah, I mean, again, like negotiating, trying to make peace in a way.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So that about does it for our time.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. And I'm going to try to finish up my review the next couple of days. I'm here in the studio a lot, so I don't have a lot of time to wrap it up, but get through it and then sort through my clips. I've got like 100-something clips because I record a lot.
Yeah, a lot more special, yeah.
Nice.
And like I said, like I get some of those clips from just get the panning shot right off the HUD and get a nice view.
There's some really cool vistas in the game. I again gotta hand it to the artists for coming through on that stuff. Looks like some really cool looking stuff. Well, thank you guys for having us here.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anything else you want to leave people with that we didn't quite hit yet, or?
I don't think so. I think we covered most of it. What I missed, Mikey?
We're out Friday.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Friday, yeah.
Available day 1 on Game Pass, which is pretty awesome.
On both Xbox and PC.
Yeah, so super cool. And I'm just on my end. I'm sure I'll be challenging Huber to some more GoldenEye this year.
Oh,
right.
Of course,
yeah, you guys have your extra life coming up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we start the Twitch stream this afternoon.
Oh yeah. So if you want to see the internet play this game,
yeah,
all at once, we're doing a Twitch plays for this.
Such a good idea.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah. Our Jeremy Gummer from Private Division was like, "I have this idea. Are you okay to do it?" And we're like, "That sounds awesome."
Yes.
So
Nice.
that'll be fun. So we're doing that starting at 3 today. So
Cool.
that'd be
Excellent.
great.
And then we have our own next stream is coming up in like 25 minutes. So yeah, we'll tear down and say goodbye to these guys, and we'll see you very shortly. And Ian's setting up for his thing, so I got to go turn the stream off. Brad, take it away.
Cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. See y'all next time.
All right, thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. Thanks for watching.